we're just going to move you guys to a different position.
6 minutes, mate.
6 minutes. So we're going to go. Can you grab that? Stay where they are. Can you get them to stay where they are? We need to move. You can just stay there for a little bit longer. We've got some more leaders coming.
Just here, guys.
Oh no. If the writing was better, that bit where you just stood in the middle, I think quite nice, but it was just
He's over there, I think.
actually when they're walking through the arch.
How did he teleport from there to there? No, look. There's people there. I don't know. They could just... Yeah, but no one... Imagine living...
It's like Star Wars going around, his legs goes in the back of the about missiles. You look like Zelensky. Look at the kids' faces. Stop the graphic. Sorry? I know. That's what I say. It's like when he was just stood in the middle. It looks like like Keir's going off, and he's like, "Keir, can we go sign that, please, mate? It's a bit cold." Didn't dress for English autumn.
Yeah.
I know. I was just, my finger was just up and down, wasn't it? Annoying sort of bit behind when he tried, whatever that was that he got, he was trying to put on Zelenskiy. Yeah, no, exactly. Just been pinging and I've still got like 30 minutes on the camera. Well done. It was all gone, do you say?
There's a bit of tape down there. Yeah, that's where they're.
Yes. So they'll probably meet over there. It's usually the way. So it was literally a Labour conference during Keir's big speech and stuff, and they put a couple of markers on like the bit like off to the side of the stage a bit where him and his wife were supposed to stand there, like waving and all that sort of stuff. So like from about halfway through the speech, like all the photographers just started like just kind of lining up for like to try and be a spot for where they were going to do the waving bit and something like that. And of course he finishes the speech and walks in the opposite fucking direction on the side of the stage. It's like, I know, exactly. Yeah. Pointing in at the sides, I quite like that. Yeah. I know, well, yeah, the 200 or so, it always annoys because of the light as well, the foreground. As if it was like more even light, it would have worked a bit because of so harsh sunlight, and these are just got these blown out flags in the foreground as well. Another day, another. Yeah, I know. Hey, you alright? Yeah, go on then.
What? I don't have to. I don't know how. I'll show you. I don't have. I have to. I really want to have a because I might have to relax. I've got those wings in the program.
It's a local as well.
Wait, have you seen mine here?
Having the Mackie D's in the background. Left a little bit.
Push me there, let him not on camera and then you'll have help.
Bloomberg's the places.
Simon's cameras. No, it's me.
And then I'll have to pick it up to use it or something.
Oh, yeah. He's 1 minute away.
Bloomberg will just stay consistent about it. Every time they change it, it stays there.
So the car's going to go round.
It's a car! Are we gonna go? Well, that's all in there. Why do they keep on lighting it up?
Hey! You want to come?
I completely forgot we had to do this, but it was about ready to run inside after they
Chris.
done a whole reportage behind the scenes and then going up the staircase. Oh,
Wow, thank you.
Well, it's quite close to the mark, I suppose.
Yeah.
Вишилась їх, добре. Перше, чуєш, я казала перед цим, що значить бути стрімерським.
It looks like Keir's literally looking at the floor for the mark at one point as well. You see that? You see that? He's like, where is he? Where's he?
He needs to go a bit earlier, doesn't he, in order to meet him in the room.
Needs to be there already.
Pointing at the poppy. Oh, hello, we've got nothing in there.
Не шкодуй кадрів. Треба було нам ще правда.
Спиною до лідера, спиною до лідера, вибачте нам. Вона якось там дивиться, перший раз виступала
Yeah, I'm getting these things. Well, are they super brilliant or something? Yeah.
У нього просто є social design. Він, якщо він інтерв'ю, програма
Data warning. Data warning. Would you like this in Chinese?
It's falling from the sky. Oh my god, it's falling. It's so cute! Oh my god, it's in my hand. I'm gonna make it breath, like in the thunder list. Cold breath, like in the thunder list.
Thank you.
Air breath. Okay? I'm gonna catch up my breath. I got it. Oh my god. Wait, let's go. Do that first. Oh my god.
Basically.
Wait, I'll help. Oh yeah. I could burn you down. That work together. Oh my god. Okay, wait, I'm gonna fly up. I actually want to fly now. Okay. So you got that. Okay, let's go. What's the first mission? We got it, we got to kill them. Wait, ask me what's up. Ask me what's up.
I'm here.
Hey,
What's up?
over here.
They're ignoring you. I mean, it's to their detriment.
Where am I supposed to go?
Definitely not over there.
Yeah, definitely not where all the flags and the cameras are. Hello, everyone. Here we go.
Wait, the person who created the calendar, if the person
Cheers, bro. Go off the mark again.
Thank you for
Thank you for support!
Sorry, she hates the kids.
You don't get it. You die after you do it. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, let's go. Okay, so we see it's I want to eat food. I want pizza.
come back. They all come back down together or something. Something like that, wasn't it?
Oh, it's a whole team, Jim. No, you can't do that. Then I can get away. Do you want me to get you out of there? You can heal them. I'm gonna show you now. Bro, you guys. That won't work. No, I can burn the ether. How can you burn the purify? I've done them. No, I have to get them away. You don't have
Up the nostril, in the ear.
No, I'm taking it. I'll give it to you and ask you to just tuck it into something so it's not trailing.
Well, you know your ass. You should know, Henry. You're going to be waddling up the stairs with a wire picking up your ass, aren't you?
That was me thinking we were pals, eh? So all those years working together, you know? Never wants to. Just so have you got a vehicle?
They give you company cars, they're not. So that drive days, miss days, save the children, quick trump cards going out the weekends.
You know that guy? No, you know Pete.
Sorry?
Stop.
Who have we got next, Lauren? Do you know? Sheep. Big sheep. Excellent.
Great name.
Who's Big Sheep again? I've forgotten which. Is it?
I was just looking at this and I
Yeah, I was going to say, it's Dutch.
yeah.
Yeah.
One of those where you do like loads of different like in succession, you don't serenade and then you're like,
Have you spread they're like head off. It's like CMV siren headphones. I don't know. I forgot what the fuck. Have you seen it? Have you seen it? Many. I wonder what the kids in my car right. I wonder if you can
Groundhog Day for Simon and Luca, they just did the same shot on PM coming out the same door. What time is that? Oh, but they're doing this one and then they all come back down together or something?
Do a series of like
running in front of the
quick.
They're all too polite, these European.
Thank you for helping Ukraine.
Do you have a
Supporting Ukrainian children. Helping Ukraine. Thank you for helping Ukrainian children and Ukraine.
Thank you very much for welcoming everyone.
It's quite a novelty for these leaders to turn up and actually get boarded for once.
Okay. I think that's it. I think that's it. Yeah. Someone will come and they will scoop you all up. Okay.
Thank you very much, everyone. I know you've been standing in the cold, but hopefully that
me welcome the new Prime Minister of Japan. Welcome to our club, and this is a great news to have you. Congratulations. Keir, you perfectly frame our discussion, and I want just to add three remarks. The first, very clearly, this coalition is a coalition for peace, and no doubt. And Volodymyr constantly reiterated his availability for peace. And we built this coalition precisely to achieve a just, robust, and lasting peace, and neither a surrender nor precisely a permanent conflict. And this is where Russia is the opposite, the one to have launched this illegal and unjustified war, until now to have refused any negotiation. Second, it's very important to follow up our effort on support to Ukraine and pressure on Russia. Regarding the support to Ukraine, Keir, I totally agree with all the points you made. We will deliver in the weeks to come on additional efforts on financing. We had a very long discussion at the European Council yesterday. We will make progress in the weeks to come. Probably Ursula and Antonio will revert on that. But I'm confident that we will finalize our discussions. But we all share the same objectives, meaning giving visibility and providing financing for Ukraine. In parallel, we also need to continue to step up our military support to Ukraine. Air defense capacities, long-range capabilities, drones and anti-drone system. I want to confirm, Volodymyr, that we will deliver in the days to come additional Aster missiles, new training programs and new Mirage, and we will, with some other colleagues, confirm some additional initiatives, but we have to focus on this top priority. And in the face of the intensity of Russian strikes targeting Ukrainian energy infrastructures, we also need to keep supporting Ukraine's energy resilience with all existing instruments, and it's very important for the weeks to come. In parallel, we have to continue to step up our pressure on Russia. The sanctions and the American sanctions, as Keir indeed mentioned them, are clearly a turning point. And they are perfectly synchronized with the 19th package of the Europeans for the very first time. And the efficiency normally of these sanctions should clearly impact the financing of the war effort in Russia. And we have to follow up. We must now work on the 20th package to continue to raise the cost for Moscow and engage with all our colleagues, which sometimes help to circumvent these sanctions, and clearly follow very carefully oil and gas as the key points to be sanctioned. And in parallel, we have already achieved a lot to address the Russian shadow fleet. And this is a perfect complement to the sanctions. Together with the UK, which has played a key role from the very beginning on this critical issue, we have put forward at the meeting convened by our shores 10 days ago what we called together the Clean Seas Initiative. More than 33 shores were present in order to further enhance our cooperation. I want to thank you, Mark, because there is a great coordination with Marcom for Atlantic Sea. And we have a broader initiative because this is northern, western, and southern front where we clearly address the threat of the shadow fleet. And I ask you, colleagues, to appoint one point of contact by nation in order to share intelligence, to share best practice, and to follow very concretely this action which is being delivered, but we are increasing our efficiency. My third remark is to follow up as well our effort to decline our contribution precisely to build this just and lasting settlement to the war. And this is about regeneration and long-term effort for the day after a ceasefire in Ukraine. So together we have defined a strategy to support Ukraine's future security so that it can deter and defend itself against a future attack. And I want to thank once again all the shots for the great work. And it's very important to follow up our effort, to follow up the planification, and to continue the work to engage with the US. And I think it's very important as well to have UMAM completely involved for regeneration efforts. We also have plans in place to deploy a multinational force Ukraine once hostilities have ceased, with a view to help secure Ukraine's skies and seas and regenerate Ukraine's armed forces, with the support and input of 25 participating countries. So it's very important to continue this effort, this planification, and all the precisions we want to get from our US colleagues. I don't want to be longer. I totally concur with what Keir said. And once again, thank you very much to all of you. And thank you, Volodymyr, to be today in London after your presence in Brussels. And I think after the great announcement of the US President during the past few days, this is clearly a new move forward.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Let me immediately pass over to Volodymyr our friends on the call, we can see you all in front of us. Now, we first brought this coalition of the willing together in London in March of this year. And since then, I'm really pleased to say that we've got a group now of more than 30 nations who have been unwavering in our support for Ukraine and a just and lasting peace. And I would say that today we're more united in that than ever before. United with President Trump in our calls to end the bloodshed. We all agree that the fighting must stop and negotiations must begin from the current line of contact. President Trump is right to impose sanctions on Russia's oil majors, as we all have done. And now we need to maintain that pressure until Putin shows that he's actually serious about peace. Volodymyr, you've said for months now that you're ready for a ceasefire and ready to meet Putin. You've shown that leadership. But Putin continues to meet initiatives for peace by stonewalling and playing for time. In the last few days alone, Putin has rejected the opportunity for talks once again. Instead, he's making ludicrous demands for Ukrainian land which he could not take by force. Now, of course, that's a non-starter. At the same time, he continues to target Ukrainian civilians and energy infrastructure ahead of winter, all aiming to maximise human suffering. So this is the time for pressure, because that's the only way to change Putin's mind, the only way to bring him to the table and stop the killing. We've got 2 months left now of 2025, and I want to use today to agree a clear agenda of what we need to do to push Putin to the table. There are 3 things. First, I think we should agree today to act to take Russian oil and gas off the global market. Now, last week, the UK became the first country to sanction all of Russia's oil majors. And this week, the US acted, to my mind, decisively to sanction Rosneft and Lukoil. This is vital in choking off funding to Russia's war machine. So I hope now that as many others as possible can take these steps as we go further to reducing our own remaining dependencies. We also need to do more to incentivise third countries to stop buying these tainted resources. Warn traders, flag registries and refineries away from working with Russia. And put the shadow fleet out of business. Second, I think we need to agree to finish the job on Russia's sovereign assets and unlock billions to help finance Ukraine's defence. The EU yesterday took a strong step by commissioning advice on how to meet Ukraine's financing needs. And the UK is ready to move in tandem with the EU to drive this forward as fast as possible and to get those funds flowing to Ukraine. Third, we need to strengthen Ukraine's air defence and the energy support that it needs, and this is becoming urgent, to protect its civilians and rebuild its critical infrastructure. So I'm pleased that we're accelerating our UK programme to provide Ukraine with more than 5,000 lightweight missiles. This means we can deliver an additional 140 missiles ahead of schedule to boost Ukraine's defences through the depths of winter. Fourth, we need to keep up the military pressure on Putin through the continued provision of long-range capabilities. And we've all seen just how effective these capabilities are. And finally, while now is the time to prioritise pressure, we must keep working on our security guarantees where we've made so much progress in recent months, including the multinational force Ukraine, so we're ready to uphold a future peace. Volodymyr, the coalition of the willing is with you every step of the way. Together we will keep backing Ukraine so you can head into winter and into potential negotiations from a position of maximum strength. That's how we will reach a just and lasting peace. So let's focus today on how we can keep dialing up the pressure on Putin to finally bring him to the negotiating table in good faith. And now let me pass over to the co-chair, Emmanuel Macron. Emmanuel.
Should we move on to the next set of remarks?
Yes, I think that probably makes sense.
In peace, and neither surrender nor personality of permanent conflict. And this is where Russia is the opposite, the one to have launched this illegal and unjustified war, until now to have refused. Here, I totally agree with all the points you made. We will deliver the weeks to come on additional efforts in our discussions, but we all share the same objectives, meaning giving visibility and providing financing. Air defense capacities, long-range capabilities, drones and anti-drone systems. I want to confirm new training programs and new Mirage, and we will, with some other colleagues, confirm some additional initiatives. In the face of the intensity of Russian strikes targeting Ukrainian energy infrastructures, we also need to keep the instruments, and this is very important for the weeks to come. In parallel, we have to consider the Europeans for the very first time. And the efficiency normally of the sanctions should clearly impact the financing of the war effort in Russia. And we have to follow up, we must now work and clearly follow very carefully oil and gas as the key points to be sanctioned. And in parallel, we have already achieved a lot to address the Russian challenge. And we have a broader initiative because this is northern, western, and southern France where we clearly address the threat of the shadow fleet. I ask you colleagues to appoint one point of contact by nation in order to share intelligence, to share best practice, and to follow very concretely this action which is being delivered, but we are increasing our efficiency. My third remark is to follow up and lasting settlement of the war, and this is about regeneration and long-term effort for the day after a ceasefire in Ukraine. So together we have defined a strategy to support Ukraine's future security so that it can deter and defend itself against the future attack. And I want to thank once again all the shots for the great work. And it's very important to follow up our effort, to follow up the planification, and to continue the work to engage with the US. And I think it's very important as well to have human completely involved for regeneration efforts. We also have plans in place to deploy a multinational force Ukraine once hostilities have ceased, with a view to help secure Ukraine's skies and seas and regenerate Ukraine's armed forces, with support and input of 25 participating countries. So it's very important to continue this effort, this planification, and all the precisions we want to get from our US colleagues. I don't want to be longer. I totally concur with what Keir said, and once again, thank you very much to all of you, and thank you, Volodymyr, to be today in London after your presence in Brussels. And I think after the great announcement of the US President during the past few days, this is clearly a new move forward.
Thank you so much, Emmanuel. Let me immediately pass over to Volodymyr to address the meeting.
Thank you so much, dear friends. I'm glad to see you, and thank you for participation here. Thanks to other leaders, of course, and representatives. Today with us is the new Prime Minister, as Emmanuel said, Prime Minister of Japan, Takaichi Sanae. Thank you. And Japan is now paying more attention to defense, like many other nations, and we are ready to work with you closely. So our priorities for today, number one is air defense and energy, and Keir said about it. And you can see that Putin has not achieved any of his real goals on the ground, no gains on the front line. And he turned to what he truly believes in, terror. And of course, we need to protect our critical infrastructure and prevent any blackouts. Our team will give your teams the key measures to help our energy sector. And this covers equipment and other items. And we are also talking about gas. Yes, we need a significant amount of imported gas for the coming winter because Russian strikes hit our production. And we are already working with Norway. And Norway has been very helpful on this. Thanks, Jonas. And I urge everyone who understands this priority to help us finance the necessary volume of imports. Next, air defense. There is an important issue for Europe, and we are now discussing with the United States a deal to buy the needed number of Patriot systems. They can be delivered, of course, not immediately, but after some time. There is a line of countries waiting for delivers, and we are trying to change the line, and it is not an easy task. And there are already a significant number of Patriots and other air defense systems in Europe that, fortunately, are just on standby, and we could use them now to protect lives. So we don't have to wait the line, and it would be very useful if we could get these systems now also from Europe and then replace them later when our turn comes in the deal with the Americans. And I ask every country that has these systems to consider this practically. Third, sanctions. Thank you to the UK and the EU and Canada and Japan for the sanctions against Russia, for the war, as well as everyone who joins in these efforts. And now there is one more important decision by the United States of America. Sanctions against two large Russian oil companies. Pressure on Russian oil is an instrument to end the war, I'm sure. And all Russian oil companies, including Rosneft, Lukoil, Putin's own oil company, Surgutneftegaz, and others, must be blocked. Their access to the world market must be cut off. This will bring Putin back to reality and greatly limit the Russian war machine's money. And I thank President Trump for his path of pressure, and I thank the countries that are already taking these steps. And I ask all the others to join. One more point, diplomacy. Right now, Russia does not want to end the war, and Putin does not want any proper meetings. Everything Putin does is an attempt to delay new forms of pressure. We must create in Russia a will to negotiate, and I will ready to meet in any meaningful format, and the current line of contact could be the starting point of negotiations, real negotiations. And we must all remember that the issues of territorial integrity, as well as any alleged trade of lands, must not pay off the aggressor or reward any future aggressions in the world. And unfairness equals danger. Do not give Russia any reason to think they can finish this war with any outcome that is unfair to all of us. Only a strong and fair solution to end the war will really work. Please support us in this, and we all know the parameters and our long-range capabilities help with that. And I thank everyone, every country, every leader who is contributing. The questions about Tomahawks, about Storm Shadows, Scouts, about our joint production of drones and rockets, these are vital. And as soon as Putin felt pressure and the possibility of Tomahawks appearing in Ukraine, he immediately declared his readiness to restart talks, but as soon as the pressure disappeared, he abandoned diplomacy again. So it's obvious for us what to do. We need more deep strike capabilities. And one more point, I urge you to push your team so we can finalize, together with our team, finalize work on a future framework of security guarantees. On the day the war ends, we must be ready with all the security guarantees. And right now it's time to practically implement all these initiatives like Pearl, Safe and supporting capability coalitions. In July, by the way, in Rome, the coalition reaffirmed to provide 40 billion euros in military support of our security and defense force, and we need to implement that. Thank you.
France. Thank you so much, Volodymyr. I think we're moving into private session now. Thank you.